There's an ancient text many tried to erase from history. It exposed a truth that gave ordinary people access to something the elites believed they alone should control: our capacity to shape and direct energy, hidden beneath layers of symbolism and allegory. This Hermetic manuscript taught initiates how to bend that force to the will. It wasn't feared only for its mysticism. It was buried because it reads like a practical manual for energy work, encoded within our steps to activate the inner current that governs not just the body, but reality itself. A cryptic blueprint for engaging the same field that moves stars, stirs emotions, and shapes outcomes. The ancients called it life force. Mystics called it divine light. In modern terms, raw, perceptible energy, and it's yours to direct. Once you grasp how this field operates, you stop merely reacting to life and start engineering it. That's what you were never meant to learn, because when you command your own energy, no one else can. The text is the Corpus Hermeticum, the cutting edge of esoteric insight in ancient Greece and Egypt. At its core lies a principle so fundamental it's been defanged over time. Your inner world doesn't simply mirror reality, it generates it. Hermetic masters taught that mind is not confined to the skull, nor energy to the body. What you think, feel, and focus on doesn't stay inside. It radiates and shapes events. They didn't just philosophize about divinity, they offered a system. Every human is a microcosm of the universe. When your internal field is aligned, you influence life in ways few imagine. Thoughts aren't noise. Emotions aren't background. They're the raw material of transmission. Every shift in your state, every breath, intention, and act of attention sends a signal into the field. When the signal is chaotic, experience splinters. When it's coherent, the world responds. This is the forgotten aim of Hermetic practice, not only to know the self, but to master its energetic output, to command the subtle forces moving through you, stop lacking power, and shape it with precision. Control doesn't begin with ritual, it begins with the realization, I am always broadcasting. The only question is whether it's accidental or by design. Once you see this, the training starts. You've felt this energy before, even if you didn't name it. The chill when someone's gaze lands on you. The tension in a room thick with unspoken conflict. The warmth you feel around someone you trust without a word. These aren't quirks of mood. They're direct encounters with the subtle field surrounding all things. Energy perception is a real, trainable extension of awareness, like hearing or touch, gone dormant through neglect, not gone. Here's the shift. This perception can be trained. Tingling in the hands for no obvious reason, pressure at the center of the forehead, a sudden internal click when you focus deeply. Your body is picking up field signals. The book's true unlock is not merely energy exists, but that you are already wired to feel it. You are the antenna. Once you start tuning deliberately and consistently, your world changes. Recognition is step one. Mastery requires moving from passive sensing to active engagement. Hearing the notes, then learning to play. Recognition is step one. Mastery requires moving from passive sensing to active engagement. Hearing the notes, then learning to play. As children, we breathed naturally. Stress pushed the breath upward into the chest, weakening the current. To reverse this, you don't need belief, just intention. The Hermetic texts describe breath as the carrier of spiritus, the invisible spark linking mind, body, and soul. By mastering breath, You regulate not only physiology, but your energetic signature. Hermetically, the human being maps as a triad: the physical body, the unsouled self, and the divine spark, channels for universal force. The body is a vessel, the soul a bridge. When thoughts are clarified and emotions balanced, the soul becomes transparent. Energy passes through like light through glass. When fragmented or fear-driven, the soul clouds and the current distorts, felt as fatigue, chaos, and life out of sync. Hence, purification, not moralism, but energetic refinement. Each act of clarity, stillness, and inward focus polishes the inner mirror so the current moves without resistance. When it flows, the body lightens, perception sharpens, and action aligns with outcome almost automatically. The aim was always the same: become a conduit, not to summon power from outside, but to awaken and circulate what's already within. The mind directs, the soul conducts, the body channels. Align all three, and energy answers your will with precision. Even your hands aren't merely tools of action. They're extensions of mind and soul. While the Corpus Hermeticum doesn't prescribe physical techniques, it insists the universe responds to conscious attention. What you focus on, you energize. What you attend to, you begin to shape. A practice reflecting that principle. Energy follows attention. Rub your palms until warm. Slowly separate them. Close your eyes and place full awareness in the space between your hands. Breathe slowly. Notice tingling, resistance, pulsing. These sensations are your field answering attention. Now visualize a sphere forming between your palms. Expand and compress it. Rotate and shape it. The more deliberate your focus, the more tangible it feels. This isn't energy imported from elsewhere. It's activated from within and organized by will. As sensitivity grows, so does vulnerability. The more open your system, the more you detect dense, chaotic currents around you. Like you wouldn't walk barefoot over glass. Don't traverse the energetic world unprotected. Energy is sticky. It clings through conversation, environments, emotional exchange, even thought. The heaviness after certain company, the fog after doom scrolling. This isn't just mood, it's static in the field. So, hygiene. Begin with breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, visualizing stagnant energy leaving like smoke. Sweep your hands over your body without touching, brushing away residue. For deeper cleansing, use water. A bath with coarse salt, rosemary, or lavender to draw out debris and restore balance. As you soak, see the heaviness dissolving down the drain. Intention makes water alchemical. Then, shield. Close your eyes, breathe, and visualize a sphere of light expanding around you. Bright, strong, permeable, only to what serves. Gold for strength, blue for calm, white for purity. Choose what resonates. Clarity of intent matters most. With practice, the shield becomes a second skin. Ground, too. When energy spins upward, touch earth. Walk barefoot. Sit by a tree. Like any charged system, you must discharge to reset. Cleansing and protection are essential, but mastery is transmutation, converting dense energy into fuel. Hermetic wisdom speaks of turning the gross into the subtle into the divine. Pain becomes clarity, fatigue becomes focus, fear becomes will. First, awareness. When heaviness gathers in chest, a gut, or brow, pause. Don't resist. Observe. Ask what seeded this. What thought, emotion, interaction. Awareness itself begins the alchemy. Then bring focus to the solar plexus, above the navel, your inner crucible. Visualize a steady golden flame. With each exhale, feed it the density. Let it be refined into light and strength. Color helps. Violet transmutes. Bathe yourself in it in the mind's eye. If drained, shift to gold or white to restore. Sound also clears. A low hum, an extended reverberates through body and field, shaking loose stagnation. You don't need to sing, only to sound with intention. The secret: energy is neutral. Negative energy is usually energy in the wrong form, place, or time. Once you can reassign and repurpose it, everything becomes usable. That is sovereignty. Nothing sticks unless you permit it. Nothing controls you unless you consent. The Corpus Hermeticum doesn't claim power comes from objects. It shows the universe responds to focused will, purified intention, and alignment with the divine. Modern practitioners sometimes use tools, crystals, symbols, patterns, not as sources of power, but as amplifiers. They're not Hermetic artifacts, but they echo a Hermetic principle. What impresses the mind imprints matter. Quartz amplifies. Amethyst calms. Obsidian shields. The crystal doesn't create energy. It magnifies what you bring. Intention makes a tool, a mirror. Scattered intention makes it inert. Symbols work at depth. The soul responds to form. Sacred geometry and glyphs compress intent into shape. They hold a charge in visible, repeatable form. Meditate with them. Carry a charged object. Construct a ritual pattern, not to bypass inner work, but to reinforce it. Tools are extensions. The current is always yours. Energy stagnates when held too long, like water. While the Corpus Hermeticum doesn't teach movement drills, it often frames humans as vessels of divine motion. Stillness of mind and harmony of soul open the path. The body completes it. Across cultures, movement systems circulate energy. Tai Chi, yoga, the microcosmic orbit. Their logic resonates with Hermetic truth. The body is a channel, and aware movement enhances flow. Try this. Sit upright and breathe. On the inhale, guide energy up the spine from base to crown. On the exhale, down the front to the root. An orbit of attention. Spinal undulations, gentle rotations, long, slow stretches. These are tuning mechanisms, not just exercise. With awareness, motion becomes ritual. Each gesture is a command. Each breath, a bridge. Hermetic alignment is body with soul, soul with spirit, spirit with divine mind. Lived not only in thought, but in form. Every thought is vibrational. It leaves an imprint on your field. Hermetic masters taught, thought is the first layer of creation. The pattern matter organizes around. The field listens to repetition. Stray doubts dissolve. Repeated emotion-charged thoughts crystallize into atmosphere. That's how people get stuck, trapped in their own echo. You can rewrite it. Choose a sentence that truly lands, not a hollow affirmation, a declaration. Breathe with it, charge it, write it, speak it. Hold it long enough, and the old imprint loosens. Hermetic law is precise. Everything vibrates. Nothing rests. The frequency you maintain shapes your reality. Low frequency, disconnection, guilt, resentment, yields dense, reactive experience. Raise frequency through clarity, gratitude, joy, stillness, and your field becomes coherent, magnetic. Life begins to meet you in resonance. Raising frequency isn't pretending or suppressing. It's choosing alignment. Breath, sound, movement, solitude, use any to recalibrate. The shift is internal. The effects are external. People treat you differently. Doors open. Rooms feel lighter when you enter. Most think life happens to them. In Hermetic understanding, life happens through them. Reality is a living mirror. Every person, trigger, and event reflects your broadcast. That means you're not at the mercy of chance. You're getting real-time feedback on what you radiate. If relationships are chaotic and doors keep closing, pause. Don't spiral. Scan your field. What am I broadcasting? This is the practitioner's path. Stop negotiating with shadow. Reconfigure the light that casts it. Once you can feel energy, shape it and move it. The final realization lands. Energy doesn't just shift your inner state. It shapes reality. Each thought, emotion, and focused breath sends a ripple into the field, and ripples return as form. The Hermeticists knew this. That's why they were precise with language, ritual, and intent. Reality isn't fixed. It's malleable and responsive to focused consciousness. Every desire, charged with emotion and visualized clearly, becomes a seed. Anchor it to an object, gesture, or daily rite to give it weight. Repeat, and the frequency intensifies. Intention becomes result. The warning: the same faculty that creates can distort. Through doubt, fear, scattered focus. The path is not just creation, but discipline of state. Energy follows emotion. Emotion feeds outcome. Hermetic text doesn't hand you spells, it hands you mirrors. Change the signal, and the reflection changes. So choose. Broadcast by accident or by design. The current has always been running. What happens next depends on whether you take the controls. Do you have personal experience with energy work? Drop a comment. I'm Rory Rosa. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more and stay tuned for what's next.